What's popular, YouTube? Another day, another demo, and today, yeah, well, that's right, we've got it. Get your shrines out, get your altars out, start the seances, light the candles. We're bringing back, oh, I guess seances to revive the dead. Well, he's not dead. He's not even a Frankenstein monster. He's evolving right before our eyes. He's like a Togepi, I think, that turns into the Angel Arch Digimon. Anyone? Reference? Like something great. He turns into something great. HOOXI, we're here to watch an Unlucky or Bad. And, you know, get your popcorn, get your drink, have a seat, have a laugh, okay? And I feel like this is the perfect outlet because you know I don't like doing Unlucky or Bads on IGLs or non-star players, but this is just the most requested. It is a particularly special game where it's an introduction of an IGL to a very high-pressured team, G2, so many fans, and a player who has historically had really bad performances. Everything pointed to this game happening, and then it did. So it must have been the worst nightmare in the world for HOOXI. He's a champ, though. He took it in stride. He's won the hearts and minds of the community. Everyone loves him right now, and I think the performances have gotten better, and that's the only reason I'm willing to do this. So I'll just say that. And I also am going to do a follow-up video because there was so much that I actually learned watching both this game and the future games about his Inferno that I thought was great. And the next video will actually be about how he improved over his 3 Inferno games and how he's actually found a place to have the perfect amount of impact, whether it's actually not just his utility, but also fragging. And you can kind of palpably see the evolution of his spots and how he's kind of developed in this team so quickly. So HOOXI is definitely doing a lot better of a job now. I'm not willing to go back on saying that I think this, his individual level is going to cost him big games in the future. I mean, as somebody who's looked at the macro analysis of his stats, looking at the level of competition now, there's nothing that tells me that suddenly this is going to get better for him, but he still has room to grow as a player. He can do, if Kerrigan can pull it off, I don't even mean that as a slight. If Kerrigan can prove he can overcome the mental game and also show that he's just as good of a player as he is in IGL or can meet his team halfway, then, why shouldn't HOOXI? We got the Denmark hats out for our Danish IGL right here. So why don't we hop in, HOOXI, Unlucky or Bad? If you believe in this man, I want some Giga Chads in the comments right now. We're here to watch HOOXI in the Unlucky or Bad. The Unlucky or Bad of all time, maybe. I remember turning to Scrawny after this game ended because we casted this match versus Vitality, one of the debut games for HOOXI on G2, and I said to him, that was one of the worst pro performances I've ever watched. So, well, I'm watching this demo to make sure. Okay, I gotta watch the demo first to make sure. That's why we're here. No, today we have a little bit of a laugh about HOOXI, and the only reason I feel comfortable doing it is because it does get better for him. And so that's why this will actually be a 2-part series where I'll do an Unlucky or Bad to cover this game, where we watch the T side, and then we'll actually watch the evolution of his CT side in the following 2 games that he plays, because it actually gets a lot better and very interesting because the changes that he makes are palpable. But for right now, grab a drink, grab a seat. We're here to have a laugh. HOOXI, I know he takes this stuff in stride. My biggest concern when I see him with his charismatic smile doing these interviews, having a great time, making everyone laugh, and of course everyone unironically likes him, right? He's a really likable guy. But my biggest concern is that when you see someone that's that kind of self-deprecating or just too easygoing about it, you wonder, do they have that dog in them? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, can they do it? And then you look at the stats. HOOXI's stats are really poor. When you go for, you zoom out and you go for a macro analysis of his stats, there's just nothing to tell you that he could get a lot better. But I will say I already feel like I'm not eating my words, but I'm tasting them with how much better he's looked in these most recent games on not just Inferno, just in general. So that's something good, at least. I still think it's, for me, I don't want to, this is something I don't want to flip-flop on. I flip-flop a lot on stuff just for fun or because I generally, may be wrong about something and feel like it's changed. But I don't feel comfortable yet flip-flopping on HOOXI and my opinion on G2's potential. I still stand with everything that I've said where, like I've literally put it as bluntly as if HOOXI gets in the 15 kill range per match, per game, they got the team that can win the major behind it. That was always the case. And I think the same logic kind of applied to Kerrigan, who has ramped it up in this year, and I think is a big reason that FaZe also win. Not just because he's such a good caller, but because he also has a baseline threshold of impact. That's all we're saying. But And when I say we, I mean we. And this is just the way I look at it is, you don't have to get a lot of kills, but you do have to get a minimum. And everybody else can do the work. You are playing with one of the best oppers right now. You do have the Kovac bros, who are both going to probably be top 10, if not both top 15 this year. 3 players in the top 15 right off the bat. So you've obviously got a lot going for you. And JKS, who's been top 20 in the past. But all right, so actually there is a bit of analysis here to talk about. So HOOXI in some of these rounds, he's going to be first up in rounds that he's not simply just throwing grenades, holding a window flash, setting up support for B, calling an eco strat where he'll jump in a underpass and, like on this round here, get him up to top mid. This is a simple, this is a strat as old as time right here. Just when you have not much to spend, get everybody running and try to find a frag this way. Let's see if anything funny happens. There are some pretty funny... You have ever seen this show? It was on Spike TV a long time ago. It was 1,000 Ways to Die. You know, they predicted HOOXI, really, because honestly, there were some misses, there were some bad misses, but then there were also moments that were you couldn't even write. You couldn't even write that. It was just so you know, it looked more than scripted. It was hilarious. Like where it's almost unfair, you know, where he gets naded, where he gets spammed, but that's what happens in games like this, right? When it rains, it pours. So, okay. Here's that window flash I was talking about, that you hold as support for your banana players. Now, one thing on another serious note, again, we look at the order of operations, and this is something I'll talk about more in the next video as well. HOOXI, a lot of the time, whether it's CT side or T side, is near Nico, whether it's taking banana or holding banana control. And in this game specifically, he was the guy going in front way often. And also the guy who was the most kind of unaware of how to fight. Like right here, this is where you see Nico play, right? This is how you see Nico. When I've talked about this in videos over the years, I'm sure some of you remember. Nico's the guy who you can give the keys to standing at the top of banana in an open site versus an open site and feel comfortable that he'll probably come away with a kill. He could take this opening duel. He can do it with a rifle. He's probably the one person in the world that you want doing this. And here we have HOOXI trying to be that guy. And it doesn't go as well. So I think that in terms of the order of operations, on the one hand, HOOXI's trying to play selflessly, create space here. But this is not a game you can play 5v4. And there were just too many times that he dies doing this. So right there, you might think, well, what would Nico have done differently? And it might be as simple as Nico would simply hit the shot, right? Nico would simply react better. Maybe he would have taken a different decision about how he taps there. You know, that's stuff that, you know, some players are probably never going to learn. That's not really here or there. That's simply the fact of the matter that you're playing on a team with Nico. You are HOOXI. You're the IGL. This is just simply not going to be your wheelhouse, you know, probably for the foreseeable future, right? This is something you want to try to set up your team to do. And I think that, yeah, that is something that changed moving ahead. I feel like I just want to talk about the next demos. There was just so much stuff to talk about, and this T-half was just pretty entertaining in the first place, so I just wanted to give it its own video. But all right, okay. So a little bit better in terms of the ped mass here with Nico going in front, but they both end up dying. Spinks has an amazing round with the flash retake on the top of banana. We're going to see that be a consistent theme for Vitality, where they notice how they flash a little bit early before the smoke is up, and they catch multiple players not playing anti. This is a fool me one situation. So yes, Nico dies in this position. Here's another situation where HOOXI is going to be the entry fragger, where it doesn't work out very well. Of course, it's a low buy, so we're not trying to hyper fixate on any one thing, but we're going to pay attention to his movement here, because the good move to do, or the move that he's trying to do, I should say, is to jump out of halls and strafe in the mini pit. This is like, it's actually not easy to do or anything, but it is what you're trying to do in this spot, and he just kind of gets caught on his movement. So here he's going to wait for a flash, and again, in his head, he's like, I'm going to make space. I've got 2 killers behind me. It's going to be all good. He misses the jump. It's awkward. He falls in a pit. Does it have an impact on the way the round goes? It's really hard to tell. It's more of a cascade of these small moments that occur that cause you to lose, you know, entire halves or rounds or whatever the case may be. So yeah, you know, small moment that maybe would have an impact. Hard to say, right? Dupree doesn't have an angle from him in big pit. If he's in mini, instead he's fully exposed all the way down to the toes. So that probably results in his death. So 7-0, we can see how that goes. This is a half wall flash here for Nico. It also can just be just a listen or whatever. Depends how you want to play it. Receive Vitality have just smoked the top of Banana. They'll be about 18 seconds on the smoke, but what they did earlier in the half was they ended up flashing before this smoke came up. We can see the timing right now is almost identical. HOOXI unaware of this flash take coming up. And again, they do it before the smoke is totally down, and HOOXI's one playing anti with the team in front of him, with a teammate in front of him, but still, this is another situation where, okay, he dies, but doesn't seem prepared to be able to react to a flash in the same way that he is playing anti-flash, yeah. Oh my god, is this the, oh, this is the clutch. Ooh, we're gonna watch this on POV. I forgot about this, man. This is a big moment. Oh, I can't wait to watch this next shot as the smoke comes up. Oh, no way, man. I already seen this, but dude, it's even better the second time. It's like Top Gun. And you know he doesn't bungle these moments. He just doesn't bungle them. They're all MIBR to Monacy. 4 in the bag. The one round they grab right here. So again, similar scenes, right? Trying to be weaponized as the entry fragger. And that was just a philosophy for this game. And I just want to keep drawing attention to that because it's not something that stuck. Oh, where did that bomb go, actually? Okay. Once again, HOOXI up front. And he misses his jump again. He also gets shot, though. So to be fair, that's... I don't actually know if that slows down your velocity in the air. Chat? Comments? We know if that's the case? I don't think it does, but maybe it does. It's No, I don't think so. I don't think you can stop the velocity of things in the air. Well, actually, well, funnily enough, a grenade could stop you midair, but you can't stop the grenade. You can't even shoot the grenade and stop it. I don't know if bullets do the same thing. I think what happened, though, is just basically he got shot, little frazzled. There's a flash going off at the same time. He slightly misses his jump. Maybe if he gets in a pit there, he doesn't die. Another situation. Okay. There are certain small things like that that make the entire difference as an entry fragger, by the way. I mean, it might sound like I'm harping on this, but this is the level we're playing at. This is the level we're playing at. There we go. Let's get some Giga Chads in the comments. I feel like I'm doing this live on Twitch, but I'm just on YouTube. Easy day's work right here. 1 kill, 1 round. So when you throw that molly, by the way, you don't throw it over top of the car because you get the worst spread. So you throw it in front of the boxes. If it lands right in front of the boxes, it spreads behind the boxes. So you get the most amount out of that, and then it stops the half wall peak. Now right here, you kind of decide about how you want to smoke this Molotov or how you want to react to it. And HOOXI will phase the smoke to take advantage of the molly, but once again, he becomes the guy in front. That was, you know, it's one of those days. Spinks will do that to the best of them. HOOXI hits him with a nice shot. Very nice of HOOXI. Such a courteous gentleman. I mean, that's from one courteous gentleman to another. HOOXI and Spinks. I actually did an interview. Oh, wait, no, I did an interview with... But this is to say Spinks keeps it real. I did an interview with Spinks and Monacy, and I asked... They were sitting beside each other in real life. And I said, Monacy, who's the best player on ENCE? And he says Spinks. And I said, Spinks, who's the best player on G2? And he says, Nico. You gotta respect that. Oh, I said I was going to do something about the jumping guns. There were a couple of good solutions that people brought up. I didn't fix that right now. I haven't showered in 2 days, okay? I've just been relentlessly watching HOOXI demos to get ahead of this so people could stop pestering me about it, you know? I feel like this has been my overdue homework. It's bringing me back nightmares from grade school here with the amount of HOOXI requests. Almost as many HOOXI requests as Brokey Week requests, I swear. I swear. HOOXI up front. Ooh. Thought about that for a half second. Excuse me. Oh, bodied. Okay. He did it. He did ask for it. He was floating there. It's still unlucky. It's not like a weird place to float and you're going to throw some nades and the smoke is down. That's okay. Unlucky? We can give him unlucky for that one. Looked like there's that flash retake again. Yeah, actually, see, Nico gets in front of it. And see, I want to say see the difference. You know, like if Nico's given the responsibility and he's all alone, he's just probably going to get that frag. I mean, he's just a better player than most players. You know, that's pretty much the game. Banana's just really tricky, so that's all I'll say. Now, funnily enough, HOOXI dies anyway. I think this shows you a glimpse, I feel like, of what you're going to get most of the time, which is something to learn from. I don't know if it's entirely fair to say, like, someone like HOOXI or someone who's like a low fragging IGL should never take opening kills, or I guess I don't mean to imply that. Like, again, like Kerrigan, for instance, I wouldn't say that about him today. I felt like I was saying that about him in 2020 when there was the aggressive IGL meta, the scout IGL meta, as was coined also by someone in the comments. That was really good. Where IGLs were playing with overt aggression. All of them have peeled back from that a lot, actually. There's now just Art left, who we actually still have not seen play. Their group hasn't happened, right? I've actually been not watching Pro League almost at all. I've been watching more demos than I ever have, but I haven't been watching the live streams, which is kind of funny. Uh-oh, don't want that to happen again. So sometimes the empty flash to the top of banana is really good because you'll be able to hear if people are going to jump around, if they forgot to play anti, if they start shooting. So let's see what happens. He ends up becoming the guy first in. What kind of space can be taken here? Will this be another easy day's work here for HOOXI? Yeah. I think that was a joint call. Hey, let's do this. And then they both died. I think we actually are going to watch CT side as well because there were somehow more funny moments packed into about 10 minutes of a half than this entire T side, I want to say. A little painful at some points, but too as well. But I don't remember how he dies on this round. I don't know if he does, actually. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Hey. I mean, not unlucky, but, there are worse deaths. We've seen worse deaths, okay? It's fine. I don't mind if you're done. You can't take this pain anymore. You wake up every day. You go to your shrine of HOOXI. You pray to him. You have him grayscale in the Giga Chad, photograph there with candles on the side. You do a seance. What seance is for? You make an offering every morning to make sure you start your day right. I get it. You love HOOXI. We all do. We do all cheer for him. There's nothing to not like about him, except for honestly, the mechanics. I think that's pretty much the only thing. And again, in tomorrow's video, which I'm going to record next, so I've already watched the demos, we're going to explain how positionally he evolved. His nade damage actually was a sight to behold. We're going to lay into HOOXI tomorrow in a good way. We're going to lay into him with love. It's going to make up for all the slander right now, I swear. I promise. Because I don't like doing unlucky or bads on players who are not star players because they have the least onus, if you will, to I don't want to contradict myself. Of course, I said everybody's got a frag to some degree, but if HOOXI's just needs his 15, Nico needs his 25-30, and I think that's the main reason. Doing lucky or godlights, unlucky or bads, I think that the star players, they get all the glory, but they also get a huge amount of the most baseline criticism, the most crude criticism. Oh, he just didn't frag this game, the easiest person to pick on. And I think that kind of makes up for the amount of glory they get for all the space they get and all the great rolls and all the eco frags they're allowed to go hunt and stuff like that. So that's why I like to do these less on kind of non-star players. This is the shining moment. Well, it's no, it's actually a very dull moment. It's a very dark moment. I think there should be an age rating on this moment. You shouldn't watch it if you're squeamish. If you can't stand the sight of blood, actually you might love this moment because there is basically none, as we're about to witness. HOOXI's and Cubby, they don't know he's here. They're going to come in this direction And Mondesi does a great job of drawing aggression away from HOOXI so that HOOXI can be set up in a moment once the smoke comes up to let this chopper fly. Okay, I don't know what the slang is for a 5'7" hyper beast, but he's about to let this glizzy fly, man. Okay, it's not a Glock, but watch, look, it's gonna fly right now. That's all we need to see, baby. That's it. We can keep it going. I hope I set that up as well as I could. That one's hard on the heart, you know, for everyone out there with the HOOXI shrine. I know it, but I think those moments are behind us. We can look at that moment, we can immortalize it, we can reference it as a joke because it's in the past. And you know what HOOXI says? My presence is a present. Kiss my ass. Okay? I almost feel like that was a good place to end, but I think there is like one or two more funny moments. Funny is a very relative term in this situation. This isn't an incredibly compelling position to defend against an arch trap, but I think he's half hoping it's not going to be an arch trap and that he can kind of, you know, flip around and kill them as they're coming up lane or whatever. But all right. Oh well. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna tally that. Yes, HOOXI died. The fountain. It's always the fountain position. This is the trickiest, craftiest position. Sometimes it can't see you through the water. Okay. See, it's this no crosshair bug that makes for some reason, has something to do with the guns jumping up and down. Also, actually, okay, so we can foreshadow a little bit on the CD side. So the positions that I wanted to talk about were HOOXI when he... Oh my god, he actually had no idea about this. Oh yeah, that's right. Apex just slid in. I actually just kind of felt bad for him there. He was kind of actively spotting. From my perspective right there with that X-ray, I wasn't really thinking about the idea that someone could have snuck through the smoke and into pool, so... But of course, when you look at it with every other round behind that we've watched, it makes it look even worse, But yeah, I wanted to look at the amount of rounds that HOOXI ends up pushing down Banana, because this is just not something that happens in the future. Even the amount of rounds that he plays at the top of Banana, and again, order of operations here, this is just a pistoling round, but you know, he's got the better gun. In the future, it will be him and Nico tethering, but it will be Nico just slightly ahead of him in almost every situation, and HOOXI responsible for the utility. Right here, Zaiwu steals his frag. That could have easily been a double. That would have been his... There was a point where I think he had 0 multi-frags in like the first 3 maps or something. Maybe 1 or 2 multi-frags. And this was a complete robbery by Zaiwu. I mean, Zaiwu said, you know, I'm the only one who gets to kill Apex. Apex dies on my terms. That's my boss. Oh wait, who is that? Never mind, it wasn't Apex. It was someone else. Are you guys happy? This is what you wanted. I didn't want this. You think this is funny? I hope you're proud of yourselves. That was HOOXI unlucky or bad? Yeah, it was bad. It wasn't great. There was a lot of moments, but there was actually some teachable moments and some things to bring up, and I think it does a lot of good foreshadowing for the next video that we're going to do. The evolution of HOOXI, HOOXI's comeuppance, I don't know, what's a Giga Chad HOOXI, whatever. It's gonna be great, okay? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be positive. I hope you got your laughs now, because now it's just tears for all of HOOXI's opponents, all right? That's the end of the downfall of HOOXI. Now it's the uptrend. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. HOOXI unlucky or bad. Let me know who we got next after the next HOOXI video, of course.